Welcome everybody, welcome to Mark Bayeski. Ooh, why can't I get that any higher? I can't. Still got issues with my sunburn. Who cares? Still fine. Can't stay long. I have an appointment. So for those that really care to listen to some of the messages that I give, you might be a little bit disappointed, but I'll try and do something. Hello Vera. Hello Vera. How you doing? Hello Vera. So yeah. Scruff. Yorkshire scruff. What's wrong with you? Sort yourself out, lad. It's true, as you get older you don't care as much. You should. Okay, so where do I start today? So I'd say for the past few years, if you've ever watched my videos, you've always kind of heard me say how worrying the black screen is. You've heard me talk about a company called Cern. They are like NASA. They're basically disguised as sending people to the moon. We are the ultimate of technology, when basically they're very different from that. Most of the government agencies, 3-letter, 4-letter names are, if you do your studying and you listen carefully enough, you'll realise that NASA is nothing more than, I guess, another way of the darkness to reap from the trough. So we need a space race. We need the man on the moon. Okay, how do we do that? And why do we do that? Well, in the hearts of mind of people, they're always, as children, are brought up to win the race first. Remember when we put it out there not so long ago and we said nobody wins the race, and so many people were screaming and shouting saying that's pathetic, that's ridiculous. The reason why they said that is because they were brainwashed. Participation in anything is a good thing. Winning is just ego. Okay, so if you want to win, that's your ego. And if you like that, it's fine. Feed that, no problem. But the fact that we've been brought up that way, it's a program. So now we want to be the first in space. We want to be the first in technology, or else somebody else is going to kill us and bomb us. All of these lies, all of these deceptions are basically the boy in the playground trying to figure out how to take the marbles out of your pocket. So he's got the white marbles. The white marbles are like a few pence, but you've got some really beautiful coloured marbles, and they're a lot more money. The bully's sat watching you, jealous, angry, seeing that you've got more marbles and they're more beautiful, colourful. How the do I get them marbles off him? So the bully, as the evil inside him does, is a conniver, is a snake, is a liar, is a cheat. It's government. Anybody in government is like that. Okay, their souls are dark. They're not like yours. So they go around and start telling everybody that white marbles are the most powerful thing. There's something special about them. Everybody wants white marbles. So the bully tells everybody this. And because the bully knows that people believe him, or he gets angry with them and says, white marbles are the best. So everybody's panicking, right? Some believe, some just in fear say that white marbles are the best. So the bully goes over to the young lad who's got all these beautiful, colourful marbles and say, my marbles are much more powerful than yours. And the young lad goes, oh really? Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, but if you want, I'll swap you one of mine for all of your rubbish marbles. Oh, okay. So he's figured that out. The bully's figured out how he can steal the best marbles, the most expensive marbles that everybody wants, by now changing everybody's mind in the playground. It's that simple. So the bully grows up, and obviously he has to be in a place of power. So he grows up from being a bully at school to a bully in top, highest ranking positions where he now realizes that the marbles have changed to money, to cash, to digital currency. It doesn't matter, but that's where the money, that's what I want. They're my marbles. And everybody's got their marbles, but I don't. So how do I get them marbles? How do I get that money? I've created something called NASA. We're going to break space. We're going to go to the moon. We're going to create everything to protect you. Oh God, everybody, yeah. By the way, all that money that you're paying into that trough, we need some of that money now to be able to do all that we want to do for you, for us to go into space. So we'll create a rocket and tell you that it was 5 billion to create the rocket, when it was only 1 billion. But the other 4 billion now has come into our pockets. So we've cheated you out of your marbles again, and they do that every day. I'm just telling you this because every corporation, every huge entity that calls themselves, we're here for cancer research, we're here for whatever it is, we're here because we're saving lives, and it's all bullshit, guys. It's the same bully in the playground has come up with a way to steal money from you, to get your marbles, to get your money. So anyway, I wasn't really going to talk about that so much. I was going to talk about something which is really profound at this moment, and that is doom scrolling, they call it. I call it rot brain scrolling. It's basically everywhere. Everybody's doing it. Everybody is now brain rot scrolling. Literally, everybody. Wherever you go, everybody's brain rot scrolling. Now, it's much bigger than brain rot or doomsday scrolling. It's far more darker and sinister. And the reason why is because the AI technology is a frequency that is now opening human bodies up to new energy that you've never had before. Maybe few of you did, because you were taking heavy drugs, drinking tons of alcohol. You were doing things that were basically causing your energy field to be disrupted. Once that happens, Cern, which I was talking about, isn't really anything to do with cracking this God particle. It's opening up portals to bring forward demonic energy, which is the cult of Baal, the hidden, just like you stick your hand in your pocket, it's hidden, the hidden hand. And basically what they're doing is they're creating the perfect body for assimilation, for hive mind, and for the attack of these demonic forces that they want in this world. And I see every day as a healer. Prior to this happening, which is probably about 90% of humanity, prior to that, there was only, I would say, 5%, 10% of the humans that had been assimilated is a word. Another word is hijacked. So as a healer, I would maybe do in a month, I'd do, 100, 200 people. And out of those 200 people, maybe in a year, I might come across a handful of people who were hijacked, who had opened themselves up so much that now they're in deep trouble. They're in deep trouble because whatever is attached to them and their agreement with that attachment, it could have been an agreement or it could have been alcohol and then they slipped in. They're now under the influence of a dark energy. And just so you know, just because it's a dark energy, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have power to do good. It does. It has great power to do good, but it does good in a way that then hijacks the soul even more, the person even more, hijacks that body even more, to believing that it's powerful, to believe that whatever the entity is within them is able to do good. It's very clever. And it can, dark energy, evil energy can use frequency and energy to heal people, and it does happen. I've seen this happen before, and I'm like, that's a dark soul doing healing work. Is it possible? Yeah, you can clear another entity from that body. And I've seen this happen many of times. So when I've tried to help people who come to me and are terrified, literally terrified, screaming, terrified, some men are terrified in another way. They won't say anything because they're in deep shit, because they know that whatever that entity is that talks to them says, if you do anything that jeopardizes me inside you, I'm going to cause you great suffering or your family. This is true. This is called hijack, spiritual hijack. You've probably not heard of it, but it's true, guys. I've witnessed it many times. And, you know, for me, it didn't really bother me because I'd tell them to shut their mouth and lay down on the healing bed, men and women, and just work for 2 hours, between 1 and 2 hours. After that 2 hours, whatever that entity was gone. And they never had that experience again. Never came back to them again. Especially when I told them, in these next 7 days, you don't touch alcohol, you don't touch drugs, you stay away from all of that as much as you can, but for the next 7 days, you've got a light inside you, which is now basically you have to feed that light, you have to believe in that light, and you've got to stay away from anything negative, you've not got to listen to anything. So these 7 days are vastly important for every human being that's had a healing session. So, yeah, I mean, the stories that I had to sit with clients who told me that their family thought they were crazy, the voices in their head, the things that they could do with this, what they believed at first was a good soul, was actually a manipulator. And I used to ask them, did you ever feel when you thought it was a good soul that it maybe wasn't so good? And they go, yeah. They'd always say, I always had in the back of my head, they'd say, that's your consciousness, a feeling that something wasn't right, and it was overridden by my brain, by what I was hearing, which is called the snake, basically. The snake tricking you, the bully lying to you. But you know, you're a liar. You're saying all these things that I know you're lying. It's the same with dark energy. There's something about dark energy that cannot manifest an energy to fool your soul. It can't. So deep down, you always know that there's something not right, even though you're hearing. So it can't. So it bullies you. It threatens you. Literally, to the point where some men and women are fearful of their own life, so they shut up and don't say anything and they live with it. Why I'm saying this? Since Cern started, and now they're creating a bigger one, I'm seeing more and more people everywhere, even in Bali, that are hijacked and taken over, and that they've got attachments to them. I mean, heavy attachments. Especially in the spiritual field. I'm seeing the spiritual world is, I would say, one of the most profound attacks. So now the spiritual people are walking around with huge attachments, and it's quite frightening. And they don't even know it. They think that they're with good energy. They think that they're powerful. Anyway, it normally takes about 10 years for anybody to understand what I'm saying. Maybe you do. The rest of the world will just laugh at me. And that's fine, I don't give a shit. But I'm just telling you guys, there's never been a more important time to put your phone down, stop scrolling, because that's basically the key that opens the door to entity attachment. And tell your kids, it really is that bad now. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is. It is that bad. It is that bad. It's that bad because it creeps in so slowly, but so fast. And without you even realizing, you're assimilated. Assimilation is futile. You can't not. If you've got a black screen and you're doom scrolling, you're rot braining. Your brain rotting every time you scroll. And if you're not aware of it, you're going to be in it, and you're going to be part of it, and you're going to be hijacked. by demonic forces, dark forces. Demonic is basically a world where they are feeders. They're feeders. They're constant feeders. That's why they'll feed from you all the time. That's why they're looking. They're feeding, feeding, feeding. That's why most of the people who are walking around, there's nothing in their eyes anymore. They're walking zombies. Their minds are full because whatever the entity is doing to them, it's creating this garbage, this nonsense. So their energy is crazy. It's so heavy and dark, and that's what these entities feed from. And it's subtle, and entities, you can't see them. Some people can, but most people can't. And they can be, the energy frequency can be small or huge, and it can appear to be, as the David Icke say, lizards, and none of that means nothing to me. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's happening to you. And that what matters is that if you don't understand what I'm sharing with you today, you are going to, unfortunately, be in a world that is illusionary and that is a prison, and you will simply be food, a battery for evil if you cannot shake this off, and if you cannot go into Mother Nature, and if you cannot heal your body so it's free from poison. If your body is poison, you will open yourself up to entity. If you're drinking alcohol constantly, there's a point where you will open yourself up to entity. If you're taking drugs, no matter whether it's legal or not legal, there'll be a point where you will fracture. Your life force will fracture. Whatever you want to call it, chi, prana, aura, it'll fracture. Once it fractures, demonic forces have never been as brutally around us than now. They're everywhere. So they're ready and they're waiting, and you've got to cleanse and clear yourself every day. You've got to work on yourself every day. And that's my little message today. Call it bullshit. No problem, I don't care. I couldn't give a shit what you think. But I'm telling you what I know to be true. I know what I see, and I've been a healer for 2 decades, and I see energy. I see what's happening to people, and it's fucking frightening. It's frightening how quickly this has ramped up, how quickly Cern opened that portal, and now there is more attachments to people. I'm not talking to that person I'm sat with here. Like, this isn't, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to something else. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it's getting. And you can see the attachments run away from me now. It's getting that bad. I'm seeing them, they're running as far away from me, which is a good sign. That's a good sign. Those that haven't attachments are connecting to me, coming closer to me. So it's just weird. It's just very strange. And every day I'm working things out. I don't have all the answers, but what I can honestly swear, my hand on my heart, is that the black screen and Cern and the dark industry of the military industrial complex that basically put up all the 5G towers everywhere, there's a connection to all of it. And if you don't put the dots together, if you can't join some of the dots together and don't figure out what's going on, then unfortunately you're going to find yourself in this new AI digital simulation with these so-called human beings, which they're not. Unfortunately, they're not. You just need to look carefully and you can see. Candice Owens is now just starting to open her eyes and recognise what's truly happening. Good for her, even though I'm not much of a Candice Owens fan at all, as you all know. But people are starting to see it now. They're starting to realise that this is a battle between light and dark, and it is indeed an invisible demonic force that is rife. Have a great day, guys. Love you all. Take care. Till tomorrow.